thank you, bro, first of all, for coming. Because actually, I noticed like many people want to come, but I feel some are shy, some are.
No, thank you for having me. Like thinking I have some mildly important stuff to say. I appreciate it.
But yeah, no, because we were talking about it, so I think we can dive right in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we have lot to cover actually.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give me maybe a history of South Asia?
Yeah,
From your
like
perspective.
I've been in Pakistan. They don't really like teach you a lot of history. Like our curriculum went through like a change to like I guess inspired nationalism or whatever. But like they completely removed the subject of history and they just teach us Pakistan studies, which is like like state propaganda, like what they want you to hear. Like even if we like lost the war, they will tell you that like, oh, we didn't lose, we kind of like won. And like they don't tell you like who was the aggressor. Like most of the time in the wars between like Pakistan and India, Pakistan has been the aggressor, but they don't really tell you that. And like the people, like Pakistani people, they don't really like, they sometimes want territorial expansion, but their lives not gonna like change based on that. It's just the military establishment. But regarding the history of South Asia, bro, it's like such like an interesting place. Like if you like go as back as like when like Pangea was a thing, like all of like South Asia, like the Indian subcontinent, and like Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, they used to be right next to southern Africa, and they were able to tell this because they have found like fossils of like some species in southern Africa, same as South Asia, that like existed back then. So that's why we have like one of the world's like tallest, or no, the world's tallest mountains. Like all 14 of them are in South Asia, because when like they collided with the Asian tectonic plate, I mean like they didn't form like right away, but like,
Yeah.
and you might have heard this, like they are actually like increase,
Growing.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
growing. Yeah, some mountains are start like they start losing their height. Like I went to some of the older ones. Some of the older ones are in southern Africa. You can see they're like more like hills. Yeah. So that is like is satisfying to, or like very interesting to hear. But then this region, like after it collided, like the first of the people that like we were told that came here were the Aryans,
Yeah.
which are like the like connected to the European like steppe people, like the Vikings and stuff. But like I'm not fully sure like if there weren't already indigenous people here already, because Indus Valley civilization, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
is one of the world's oldest civilization. They used to trade with Mesopotamia and stuff, and I went to like their like ruins
Bro,
and
like where is it? In Pakistan?
in Pakistan. So it was such a big civilization. It had like multiple major cities. So there is one in my state. It's called Mohenjo-daro.
Oh, we read about that.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
that, and we have Harappa, which is like in Punjab. And then India has a couple of cities as well. And then yeah, so it was like a very expensive civilization. They had like public baths and stuff. Like if you can imagine, like people having that like 3,000, 4,000
Yeah.
years ago. And like from like their records, they have found that it was most likely a democracy. There was no like emperor at that time, because they didn't find any evidence of that. So it could be like one of the world's like earlier democracies, because in Mesopotamia there was like like a ruler emperor, same in like Egypt.
Yeah.
But this region, I don't think had like a ruler, but their language also hasn't been deciphered, their
Oh.
script. Like there is no Rosetta Stone to convert it to like a more modern language so we can understand what they say. So it's a lot of mystery. Yeah, but like you tell me a little more about Nepal. I feel like in like the debate about South Asia, like sometimes like India like overshadows like some of the other like other parts. So like
Yeah.
you're saying like Nepal has different ethnic groups. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I think Nepal is an interesting country
Mhm.
because I think even the whole Indian subcontinent before the British came in, I think they were like small princely states.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't one big India or even Pakistan or even Bangladesh. So it's like there were small like cities that were ruled by individual kings. And for a long time, I think Nepal was like that too. And then we also had some like kingdoms that expanded a lot, that took over other kingdoms. And around like 1600, 1700, when the British were coming in just into India, we had this one guy who was like, if we don't unite, the British are gonna like, divide us and take us over. So he like started conquering around, and then he was considered the founder of modern Nepal.
Oh.
So
So British were never able to colonize because he played a big role.
yeah, I would think so, because I think if we were still, because say Kathmandu, right?
Yeah.
Kathmandu, our main city, it's actually built up of 3 cities.
Oh.
So it's like there's Kathmandu is, it's like New York State has the city. So it's kind of like Kathmandu has Kathmandu, Bhaktapur, and Lalitpur. So these are 3 cities inside, and 3 different kings they had.
Oh.
So it was gonna be very easy for the British to be like, I'm gonna pay one of you. To
Yeah, that's what they did. Damn.
Yeah.
And like the geography of like Nepal makes it like harder for like to
Yeah.
bring in like a big army and stuff
I
as
think
well.
that was one of the reasons too, because I think we had some in our flatlands next to our hills. There were like malaria, so the British were like,
Yeah.
and hills very difficult.
Yeah, bro, I bet. Cause like, before the British, like the South Asia region, it has like history of like a lot of invaders coming in
Yeah.
from Central Asia and stuff as well. But like, I don't know, I haven't heard like of such invasions in Nepal.
Nepal less, because like hills, it's very difficult to
Yeah.
traverse. But I think it's like a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because blessing, because they could not take us over. But even now, to get from one place to another, it's very difficult. Because in India, it might be flat, right? But Nepal is like, oof,
So, how do you feel like Pakistan is in a similar situation, but Nepal even more so, like sandwiched between like two giant countries that could have expansionist ideas? Like, what do you think that China is more of a threat than India, or the other way
I
around?
think India is more of a threat.
India is more of a
But
threat.
I think I could be biased, but I think with China, Himalayas, way too difficult for them to even no matter how modern they are, over Himalayas, very, very difficult. Also, culturally, majority of us, we're not as dependent on China. But India has, I think, too much control in my perspective, because they control
like local domestic politics as well, right?
our local domestic policy. I think all our weapons for our armies comes through them. We can't get it from other people. If we try, India is like no.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, it's like so
Damn.
it's gotten to such a level where if we want to do anything, most of the time India has to give a yes or no.
Another thing I was curious about Nepal, like I know like tourism industry is big there. Like, do you guys have like other industries that are developing, or like?
Not as much, I think, as we'd like to, because I don't know, people, skilled labor to even, I feel even Bangladesh is ahead of us in terms of like, at least they make clothes, bro.
Yeah.
I feel, because so many people in Nepal would take that job. Like if you, even if you got paid quite less, but at least you get paid. So so I think we have not developed, even tourism sector. It's like we've not done anything. Like whatever we have, we're just kind of trying to make money off it, but we're not putting in the work to do it.
Like make more infrastructure for more.
Not. It's like whatever is there, we're like okay.
Yeah. Damn.
So I think at least it's the government, but I think everyone blames the government. But
That's right. You know, our like previous prime minister, his like.
Cricket player?
Yeah, bro. I am like not a huge supporter of him. Which like, you know, these days a lot of like Pakistanis who live in America, they see him as like, you know, the liberal modern person, but he's certainly like not that. Like, you know, like he has a lot of issues. So like the other ones who are also in politics, I'm not saying they're better, but one of his ideas for like industry was like, you know, Pakistan is like, we are always in a deficit. We have to import more than we export. So like the only way we'll get out of this is to make more industries, but we don't have any. So he was asking like the Pakistanis who live abroad to send in remittances, and he was trying to like, one of his like major policy was like to try to run the country based on remittance, like like when we, if we make money here
Yeah, yeah.
and we send money back
Yeah.
home, we are actually helping the economy like a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
time, because we are taking money out of the US economy and injecting
Yeah.
it into our own.
Foreign
But
currency.
yeah, but like, like that shouldn't be the only way your country is making money, is like, the people who are living abroad. So have you noticed like brain drain, brawn drain,
100%.
like in Nepal? Yeah, bro. I've
100%.
seen like if you go Qatar airport, like most of them are
Yeah,
Nepali,
you'd
bro.
be shocked.
Yeah.
'Cause I was just walking down the airport and people Nepali, Nepali,
Yeah,
Nepali.
you hear.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I think that's the way to go. Of course, I think temporarily, maybe if it's like an emergency, like I think Sri Lanka, maybe they would like, remittance.
Mhm.
But for long term,
Yeah.
like, no good economy like China, USA
Mhm.
does that,
So since like so many Nepalis are in like these Gulf states, like have you like, cause Pakistan was on like a similar trend line, so like I know like a lot of my uncles or like people I know who went to work in like these countries, like do you know like any such people who work in Gulf, or is
Yeah,
it
definitely, or at least used to work. Like there
used
was
to work? Yeah.
I think I say brother or elder brother. So he's
Mhm.
like my dad's, like a cousin, but we're quite close.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went to Qatar, I think, and he
Mhm.
drove a truck. So it was not like the worst job.
Mhm.
It was pretty good actually,
Mhm.
compared to other jobs you can get there. But I think he drove a truck for a while,
Mhm.
and then now he's back, some money, got like a small land and house.
Okay.
So I think for him it didn't turn out that bad.
Yeah,
He could have.
yeah, cause that's the dark reality, is like sometimes you have to like go work in another country without even getting the benefit. Like if we work here, we'll get benefits, but in Gulf, like they will never accept you as their citizen. So
Yeah, yeah.
eventually you have to go back. But I guess you can save up enough money to buy land and stuff back home.
Yeah, so if it's good, I mean, as long as what they say, they do what they promise you initially. But sometimes like the passports are taken.
Yeah, that system is like akin to like modern day slavery
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion, bro. Cause you cannot like. I had this like very bad experience once, like when I first came here to United States when I was an exchange student. I was being hosted by this like South Indian family. They were like Christians, but they were also hosting another kid from Jordan, right? And like that kid from Jordan, like we were the same religion, like both of us Muslims. So I was like, alright, like we will become good friends, and we were. But like once we got into an argument, and he told me, we keep your people as maids and servants. And like, yeah, that really made me feel some type of way, bro. Like if that's how like they perceive us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess that's just one individual. Mhm.
And I think it's time, because I think some, like, because I've been reading a lot of history recently.
Mhm.
So some civilizations do well,
Mhm.
sometimes
Mhm.
it's up and down. Because I think South Asian civilizations were doing very well,
Mhm.
even like maybe 500 years ago.
Mhm.
But
But,
then,
but bro, do you know like before the British came to that region, like we like the South Asia contributed to like almost like a third of world
yeah,
GDP, like
lots of
23, 25%, and by the time they left, it was 2.3%.
Yeah, yeah.
So like and in Pakistan, some people have this like false notion that British like developed because they like build trains and stuff, right? But what they don't realize is they build the trains so they can
Yeah.
steal from you at a faster pace.
Yeah,
You
because
know, like
most of the trains go from like a place of resource to the port.
yeah,
Like,
bro. And one thing they did was like South Asia was known for its fabrics, and we had like a lot of textile. We had like looms and stuff. They
yeah,
purposely like destroyed our textile industry.
and
So
made by like the British.
British like clothes that were inferior in quality, and like we can still see like now it's starting to come back slowly and slowly. But yeah, but I guess you're right. Like empires, there's ups and downs, and I
Yeah,
guess we are on a good trend overall.
yeah,
Hopefully.
I think so.
Mhm. Mhm.
What about? Do you know anything about like or like pre-colonial and post-colonial life in, like you say, Pakistan or South Asia?
Yeah, I mean, like pre-colonial, what I've heard is like, okay, firstly, like, in India these days, like the Hindu nationalism is on the rise. So they are also like giving a false like idea of history. Like from the religion classes I've taken here, it's like, okay, so this region, South Asia had mostly Hindus and Buddhists, and like Muslims came in as invaders, right?
Yeah, I think.
And like they destroyed like temples and stuff. But like back then, it wasn't like, oh, like I'm destroying your temple because I hate your religion and everyone from this religion should die. Because Muslims, they also like, some of them destroyed mosques built by other Muslim emperors. Like that was just what you did. Like if you conquered a place, you destroyed like their monuments and build your own. So like some Hindu rulers did the same, like they destroyed some mosques but they also built some mosques. So like
Yeah.
it's like we shouldn't be like thinking of them as they live in like today's society, because stuff was different. So one thing I'll say that like differentiates the Central Asian and like Persian invaders who ruled over India compared to like the British is they didn't, like the Central Asian and like the Persian invaders, like once they conquered, they like made India their home and they stayed there. They didn't like funnel the resources back to where they were from, like so like the resources ended up staying there and like the development, like it got more developed.
I think that's a good point because I know like Akbar, he
Yeah.
was like a Muslim king, but he
Mhm.
ruled over lots of like Hindu people, right?
Yeah.
But he was also very open, I think, or
Yeah,
something.
he tried. Yeah, he tried to be very open. He's like he's the one that like they love the most in India because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was the most easy on like the non-Muslim people, and they hate Aurangzeb the most because he was the harshest on the
Right.
non-Muslim people. He put the jizya tax, where I personally don't agree with that tax, but this is the tax. Like basically, if you're not a Muslim, you had to pay a tax to like live in that area, which I know I can see can cause some grievances and like it's not right. But yeah, so then when like the Mughal Empire, it started like losing its strength because with empires, like eventually the kids like they start like
Yeah.
infighting over like who wants the throne. Like it just like weakens the throne very much. So then a lot of invaders started coming from like Afghanistan and Iran region.
Hmm.
I'm forgetting the name, but like they would steal and take back the resources. So like at that point, Mughal Empire was so like weak that they couldn't even like fend off like the local invaders, and then the British came and they set up their like East India Company, and
Yeah.
what happened after that. Yeah, and I guess post colonial, like is just from what I have lived. Like I've never been able to go to India, nor I will be able to.
Don't
Like
think so?
yeah, I mean, cause based on the current like atmosphere, like Indians can't come to Pakistan and Pakistanis can't go to India, even though like the people have a lot in common. Like the intelligence agencies, like if an Indian was to come to Pakistan, like our intelligence agency ISI, like will keep tabs on them. Where like, you would feel like, and also you have to go report to the police station every week. Like if I go to India, I have to go report to the police station, even if I got the visa. Yeah, but from what my grandma used to say, she lived like her childhood was
Before
during,
partition?
yeah, during the end of the colonial times. So she lived in UP, Uttar Pradesh,
Wow.
near Lucknow, and she said like in her village there were like people of every religion, and like they would celebrate Hindu festivals as well as Muslim festivals, and there would be separate food prepared for both because they have different dietary restrictions. But once the idea of like the two nation theory started, like Hindus and Muslims are separate and Muslims want a separate country,
Yeah.
that's when all the
Yeah, how did that come about, bro? Because it just surprises me.
so two nation theory in Pakistan, they say like the guy who came up with it is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So he's this Muslim guy who went to Aligarh University. Is currently in India. So Aligarh University was like back then there weren't that many universities, so it was like one of the bigger universities where like the elites went. So he is like one of the elites, and he also worked in he was a judge to some capacity. That's why he has Sir. Like the British gave him that title, Sir Sayyid Ahmed Khan. So in that university, a lot of their professors were of this, like they were the one that came up with this two nation theory. A lot of these British people who didn't fully understand like the local culture and stuff, and you can like go and like look at like their published work, like what they had to say. So they like put this idea in these like elite Muslims, and then if you're part of the elite class and you're a Muslim, like you are scared that when like British leave, like you might not be able to hold on to your elite status as much, because when like the British use like smaller groups to and gave them like more better positions to create division. Like they did this with Muslim, but they also did this with Sikhs. Like Sikhs were like one of the in the British army, out of all the local people, Sikhs were like the highest ones that were recruited in that army. So like they put they created more divisions so to help them like control the power. But yeah, my grandma said like everything was okay until like these stuff started, and like the regions that were affected the most is Punjab and Bengal, because their population was like more of like a 50-50. Yeah, so it caused a lot. But I would say like India is much better to its minorities than Pakistan is, because like right now in Pakistan 99% people are Muslim. When Pakistan was like created, it was like more like 80% or something. So
So the people converted?
I guess forcefully converted, sometimes had to leave, some they basically like got like didn't get their rights, and yeah. It's pretty sad. Like we have a lot of like ancient like Hindu temples in Pakistan, like, and I hope like we protect them, because like in Afghanistan, like the Taliban, they were destroying some of the older like artifacts and stuff. Mhm. Mhm. But yeah, in Pakistan, like most people will think that like the creation of Pakistan is a good thing, because that's what you're told, like from like when you're born, like there's everyone is telling you that like you should be grateful you're a Pakistani, like, but like bro, grateful for what? Like I was gonna be born somewhere. Pakistan isn't one of the best places that you could be born, so yeah, I don't. And if like this whole region was united, like you already know, like we would have like more of a say in the world politics than we do right now. Hmm.
What about regular life in Pakistan? Like, how was your childhood, you'd say?
I would say that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was very fun. Like
Okay.
I'm sure I would love to hear like your stories as well. But like growing up, after you would come back from school, like you eat lunch, like do some studies. But around like 3-4 p.m., all the kids from the neighborhood, they come out, and like you guys play like different like sports or games, like different seasons was different stuff. So like in winter we played badminton. I don't know why winter was for badminton. And then during the summer we would play soccer or cricket. But unfortunately, because I live in such an urban area, there wasn't really like places to play the sports. So we would just play in the street, and like when you play cricket, if the ball goes to a neighbor's house, you have to send the guy.
Yeah.
And then like
That was a difficult job.
yeah, sometimes the neighbors are like, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
gonna
gonna
do that.
return. Yeah. So that was very fun. One thing I really enjoyed was like flying kites. So that was very fun. And me and my younger brother is only 1.5 years younger than me. So
Oh, I
like,
didn't even know that.
yeah, so everywhere we went, like we would go together. It was very nice to have like a constant friend who is always there with you. So we would be like playing around, and during the kite flying season, right?
Yeah.
they use strong strings or
Yeah.
like sharp strings
Yeah.
to cut each other's kites. So like me and my younger brother would be like playing around, but like we would keep like an eye in the sky. Like if you see like a kite, two kites, you know one of them is gonna like get cut, right?
Yeah.
So like you just like keep an eye
You
out.
see where it falls?
Yeah, and then like if when you see it cut, you don't like run right away because the
Yeah.
other kids will see you and then they will run. And even sometimes it has happened to me that me and my brother caught the kite, but the other kids were so mad they destroyed it. So so you have to be like careful, like use some sneak, but that way you get some like free kite. It's not that much, like it's probably like some cents, but like when we were young, like
Yeah.
it's a
That's
free
fun, huh?
kite. Yeah, but tell me about like what kind of activities you did
Yeah, I
growing
think
up.
similar. But what I noticed, you said you would start playing at 3, but my school ended at like 3.
Oh,
Really? Like what time from me? What
my
time
school ended at like 1 p.m.
Dang.
Yeah,
When did it
yours
start?
it started like 8 a.m.
Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah. So you were in school for longer.
8 to 3.
Bro, you should still be thankful. Like I've heard some of the international students from Korea, they're in school until like 8 p.m. or something, bro. They be
Yeah,
like
no,
on the
I
grind.
actually got, but yeah, because one, it's crazy. For one, I'd still be in school. But I think school was great. I think good time. Yeah, I think similar. I didn't play too much cricket. Mostly just football
Football.
or just running around.
Tell me about like Dasai, like how was it like the
I
celebration,
think
like
Dasai was so good.
yeah.
Because here it's maybe shorter. Like Christmas is like a day or something. But ours was like you get into an entire mood. You know, like okay, this week is Dasai.
Yeah.
Next week is also Dasai. So you're like pumped and no school, so it was always great. And then when you're a kid, you go to like elder relatives mostly. So it was my grandmother. So everyone used to go to my grandmother. Like of course my parents, cousins, other cousins, some faraway cousins.
Yeah.
And everyone used to be there. And and get good food, lots of people.
And you get the money.
Yes, you get the money. From
Yeah,
the elders.
bro.
And when you're a kid, there's like always like a bunch of kids who hang out somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're like the adults are on one side, there's someone else, like cooking on the other side, and the kids are there. Great, so many games like kite flying, just running around, card games when you get older.
You feel so rich as well when you get those like
bro.
the money.
But they used to give like a crazy amount to kids.
Yeah.
At least I used to think, because like 500 rupees they used to give me.
Yeah, but like these days, 500 is nothing, but like for
But
when
still
you're
back
young.
home, 500 you can
Yeah.
probably get like 2 plates of momo.
Okay.
Which-
Okay. Yeah, I guess 500 you can get at least like one time full meal back home.
Yeah.
That's another thing I noticed, like in our region, like the food is much cheaper and available much more
I
like
think
here.
it's great actually.
Yeah.
Like, cause our momos are too good.
Yeah, bro.
I think some things,
So,
spices, the food.
so is Dasai like a more like a Nepali festival? Cause I've never heard like the Indians saying they're celebrating Dasai.
Yeah, I think it's like because Nepalis have different type of Hindu. I realized. Because even though we and Indians might both be Hindus, like we have a different way of celebrating. Different. So yeah, I think it's like they have Diwali or something similar. Maybe, but Dasai is our like 2 weeks at least. Actually, yesterday was the first day of Dasai.
Damn. Okay. Happy
like
Dasai to you, bro.
Thank you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
once a
Yes,
month,
sir.
But yeah, after Dasai, there's like a short break, and then there's Tihar.
Tihar.
You know
Yeah.
Tihar, where
Yeah.
like you blow up like firecrackers.
Yeah.
And then you worship like dog.
Yeah.
One day a cow, another day a crow, another day.
A crow.
So all these, great stuff.
Yeah, like how you said like the Hindus in Nepal are different than the Hindus in India. I learned this in my religion class that like the word Hinduism or like thinking of Hinduism as a one religion is like a Western concept, because like how it worked was like different like regions had like a different deity that like they prayed more to, even though they respected like the other region's deity. That's why one thing they've noticed in India is like the states that their main deity was like a woman, or like I guess not a woman, it's a deity, but in a feminine like Kali Mata or like Lakshmi or something, like Durga. Yeah, so those states tended to be more progressive for female rights than the states that had like a male aspect divinity. But yeah, bro, I think Hinduism is like a very cool religion. Like in Pakistan, like we are not really told anything about Hinduism. Like we are told that, oh, these are just like non-Muslims, non-believers, like, but it's, I don't, because in Islam, right, the earlier days when Prophet Muhammad was still alive, the Muslims were fighting with these people in like that region that were called like kafir. They did idol worship, but they weren't Hindu. You know what I mean? Like their idol worship was different than the Hindu idol worship. Because in Hinduism, at the end of the day, you're still praying to the deity. You're not like thinking that like the statue is gonna like fix your problems. You know, it's like at the end of the day, you're just using it as like the device to get your message across. But in Pakistan, they kind of teach us like, oh, these people like pray to idols. Like, what can an idol do? It can't even move. But like, you know, it's like a very wrong way to look at a religion. And then there was this like famous like Mughal person. He was in line to be the ruler, but his brother took over. You know the Aurangzeb guy who was telling you about, the one who was harsh on Muslims. So this guy was like his brother, and he had this theory. Like I don't know if there is any evidence to this theory, but in Islam we believe that God sent like 124,000 messengers to humans at different points in the time to bring them towards like, you know, righteousness or whatever. So that guy, his theory was like some of these like, you know, deities in Hinduism, what if they were also like messengers of God? And like, cause in Quran we are only like given the names of like less than like 30 of them. So like we don't know if like, you know, what they are practicing is might even be the same thing as like, not the same thing, but like in essence like,
Yeah.
you know, praying to the same deity. So but even if they're not, like you shouldn't like hate anyone based on religion.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think Hinduism, but I think all religions can be used for good or bad. But I like the idea in Hinduism that there are many gods,
Yeah.
many different ideas, and all of them have like a different place. So I like that, especially what you said about like if in a state there's like a feminine deity, and like the ladies are respected there more. I realized that's so true, because I realized like we have certain religious practices that we do, that even if we like don't know off the top of our heads what's the meaning behind it, there's like a deeper reason why society continues to do it.
Yeah.
Because like in Nepal, I think we have something called, I don't know if you know, there's like this goddess Kumari,
Kumari.
and she's like she's like a living goddess.
Oh, is it they pick a new one?
Yes,
Yeah,
so,
like
so,
the
so
yeah,
they
yeah,
pick like a new girl every
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
The old
yeah.
one is like disqualified.
And they can like walk on the ground.
They
Yeah.
can't touch the ground and all
Yeah.
that. And I always used to think, why do they do that? But I was listening to another guy on a podcast, and like he was like a Nepali social scientist, like a very cool guy, and he said, like if there was ever a time where like the ladies or the young girls were especially being disrespected or like, you know, harmed, and suddenly you had a goddess who was a young girl,
Yeah.
and people would be like, hey,
Yeah.
how can I harm other young girls?
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, that opened my eyes.
Yeah, bro.
What's the point?
Yeah. That is, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, because there was that served a big reason. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure that emancipated like some of the rights
Yeah.
of like, yeah, bro.
And it's very difficult to see like, you know, a young goddess and then go home and like harm like your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always used to think why, but so many things like a crow. I'm sure there's like a reason. We worship like snakes sometimes. Another example, bro. Like we worship snakes in the valley because I didn't know why, but like the same guy told me it could. Like I heard him say that it could be because the snakes will leave the valley if there is no like water or rain. So the more people are appreciative of the snakes, they'll be more like sensitive towards, you know, rain or something. So you can tell more easily. So many deeper reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Cause like sometimes we are like told to look at our ancestors like they didn't know what they were doing, but like, bro, like their indigenous knowledge systems was like working for them. Like, you know, their medication, like even like nowadays science is like trying to like look more towards like naturally occurring like herbs and like the compounds found in them, because humans are like much more used to like consuming those things, so our bodies are more used to them compared to like if you make like a completely synthetic like drug or like, you know, medicine that we're not used to, it usually backfires because our bodies are not like used to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing you're saying, like what you like about Hinduism is the diversity. Like, I also like that about South Asia in general. Like, if you look at like Southeast Asia, for example, like I watched this video. Like the guy was saying that in like the Southeast Asian countries, or I think it was East Asian.
So
One
what,
of
like Thailand or like
oh,
Japan, China?
I think he was talking about he was talking about like Korea, China,
That's
and
East.
Japan, specifically, maybe even Vietnam. But what he was saying is like if you like look at these countries, you'll see that 80 to 90% of the country is the
Very
same ethnic
homogeneous.
group. Yeah, it's very homogeneous. So like he was saying it's because of their Confucius, like they believe in Confucianism, which is like you if you fit in, if you assimilate, it's good for society,
No.
which is like I don't disagree with that. But in South Asia, like everyone still like held on tight to their like local customs
Yeah.
and language and stuff. That's why we have so many different ethnic groups, so many languages, so many cultures. So I think that's very cool that all these people were able to coexist. And like we still see so many ethnic
Yeah.
groups.
Yeah. I feel it's like a blessing and a curse, as I said.
Yeah, it
It's
is a
like so
blessing.
easy for us to get divided.
Yeah.
In politics, especially.
Yeah.
This guy is not from my tribe.
Yeah,
I'm not
bro.
gonna vote him.
No.
But at least maybe in China they're like, oh, that we're all the same. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how like, and like you see all these countries are doing much better because like they don't have that like ethnic divide
Yeah.
like we do.
But some do well, like I think like Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they might have same people, but I didn't know in Switzerland it's like they're very like Republican government where it's like they have small like they call it cantons. It's like small districts.
Okay.
And each district is like very unique.
Oh.
So they have like a very rich history where like they have their own flag, their own like something, their own culture.
Damn.
But they still are able to come together
Yeah.
and form like Switzerland. So I
Yeah.
think that's their ideal. I
Yeah.
think that's at least for Nepal.
Or if you look at Singapore, bro.
Right?
Singapore is like one of the few examples where like you have a dictator who actually was good,
Right.
like because mostly like they end up doing bad stuff, but like the dictator in Singapore, like
Right.
like the stuff he did really like, cause bro, it used to be like a fishing will, like like
Yeah.
now it's one of the world's. They have the strongest passport in the world,
Right.
Singapore.
That like I think $80,000 GDP per capita.
Yeah, bro.
Rich.
Us like we are probably at the bottom of the when it comes to the passport, right? Like we
Yeah.
can't travel anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Singapore definitely, because their quality of life is so good. People are like they would not leave that country.
Yeah, and like it's very like diverse. Like I think there's like a lot of
Yeah.
Malay people, Chinese, and Indians there. But like they have like some type of rules. So like if there's like a big like apartment complex,
Yeah.
the houses in that apartment complex need to be rented out to people like in the same proportion as they exist in society. So if there's like 20% Indians in like Singapore, 20% of the rooms in the apartment should go to like Indian people. So they do this to make sure that like everywhere is diverse and like you don't make like like
Yeah.
ghettos where there is like just one group because that can lead to problems.
Yeah. You know what I found impressive about them? I think they're like ministers or something. They're like the highest paid in the world.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
crazy amount, like something like 200, 300K.
I know, but bro, that's like good because like
respect that.
in our countries, our ministers probably end up making that much
Yeah.
money anyways.
But by corruption.
But by
Yeah,
corruption,
it's like,
yeah.
Even in the US, like the president is paid less, bro.
Yeah, which is crazy, bro. The president of US is paid less than the Singaporean prime minister or president or whatever they have.
But then the US president has to probably make it through, I don't know, like some other means.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, I forgot who is the Nancy Pelosi. Her husband is like an investor, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Maybe.
she's like one of the. I'm not. I don't like fully support any of the parties, but like I know like both of them have like problems. But Nancy Pelosi, she's notorious for like she's a Democrat, right? So her husband, he's an investor, and she is the one who's like helping put in policies. So he knows like which companies will probably do better based on the
Yeah.
policy. So he invests in those companies. It's called like insider trading, you know.
Yeah.
What you want to talk about next?
Well, what I want to talk about is what I find impressive about you. I feel you can balance, like if you're even drinking or smoking weed or like other things, you are still able to balance maybe what you're doing like right then and like future plans or even like this weekly plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel sometimes I struggle where if I'm like say drinking beer, maybe I drink and then I'm like
It's hard to work.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. The reason like I've gotten to this place is like I've went through like multiple steps. Like if you're in Pakistan, like you don't touch anything. Like
Really?
yeah, cause we don't like it's a very Muslim society. So like like alcohol you can't really get it. But like tobacco is very big, and like
Cigarettes.
yeah, none of my family was like into tobacco, but like in youth you do stuff with your friends. So like
Yeah, definitely.
I started like smoking when I was like 15, which is like early, and like nicotine is like a very addictive substance. Like if I could go back in time, I would not use nicotine because it's like it doesn't like do anything for you. It just makes you like addicted, and it's the addiction to nicotine is way harder to come off than like a lot of other like harsher drugs.
Or what people think are harsh, right?
Yeah, yeah. So then like I was studying in Eswatini for 2 years. There like I had like all the access, like you can get like liquor, weed is very cheap. Like we even went to like some farmers who were like growing the stuff, and
Wow.
like we like gave them fertilizer, and they gave us like a big bag of
Crazy.
weed in return. So I mean I would say like I started doing a lot of that because like if your whole life you're like told you can't do anything, when you get a chance sometimes you like overdo it.
100%.
Yeah, and like sometimes it can lead to negative consequences. But one like category of like drugs that I enjoy is psychedelics. Like I think they can be very helpful for like the wider society. Like they have taught me a lot about myself, and for like mental stuff as well. Like when I came here in the beginning, I used to be like very anxious, like because you're in like a different like community. You just like everything is different here. Like humor is different, like everything is different. So I used to be anxious, but like once I was like tripping, and then I went to like a gathering, and then like I was able to analyze the stuff better, and I realized like in my real life, and I'm not tripping, I'm tripping like because I'm thinking that like people are like paying too much attention to me, but everyone is like paying attention to themselves. So, like, and like you should be confident in yourself, and like so since then my anxiety has been like much better. Yes.
You almost sold me on it, bro.
Bro, it's like it's one thing I would be cautious with is like if your family has like a history of like schizophrenia or psychosis, those are the only conditions where I would say someone should stay away from those stuff, because I've seen like some negative stuff, but like almost everyone who I've seen like use them have gotten like something like positive out of it. So, and you don't have to do that much as well. Like you can like just like do a very small dose, and like science has showed like when you do psychedelics, it like makes new neuronal pathways in your brain. So like it's like your brain like kind of grows.
Dang.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like it's also like you shouldn't think that like doing psychedelics make you smarter as well, because like sometimes you can get into that like, oh, I've like I've felt this that like most people don't feel this like feeling. Yeah, but I think like college is a good time to just maybe experiment a little bit with it, but the end goal should be to like not need anything in your life to be happy, just like finding that happiness within yourself, you know.
Like, why should that be the end goal?
I mean, like, bro, another thing I've noticed is like people who tend to be like mean to other people, sometimes they have like their own insecurities and they don't want to like address those insecurities, so they like project it to other people. So like if you focus on yourself and like being okay with yourself, being happy, just like doing whatever you feel like doing or doing something productive, like then every interaction you have with other people will also be good because you are confident in yourself, you're happy with yourself. Like when you go into a relationship, you should first make sure that like you are like good with yourself, and then only then you can be good with your partner as well.
Wow, I feel that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, because I've noticed, I think, yeah, as exactly as you said, people who are mean or negative
Mm-hmm.
or like talk maybe bad about people, I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed
Mhm.
always, like, I think there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, bro, like you should visually as well. Like if you smoke weed, you just get a little high. But if you do psychedelics, bro, you see stuff. You see some stuff. Like it's very hard to like describe what you see as well. Like you just gotta see it for yourself. But like once I've seen like once I was like laying down, like we were in some nature area, and we were doing that, and like I saw a tree that was like going up in the mountain, right? And there was also like a streak of cloud that was like matching the tree directly. So like for a second it looked like the tree was like someone putting a stick in a water, and the cloud was the reflection of the tree in the sky. Like you can see some like wild stuff. And one thing you especially like see, I recommend doing it in nature. Like you see like how much like beauty there is out there, like in everything that is around you. I think that can make you like a better person. Like you see all the beauty around you, so you try to be a beautiful person yourself from within.
I have one question though, and this is what makes me not hesitant, but like what I've realized with like, at least with beer, with weed, all of them, like they give you like a high,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a corresponding low,
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe the day after or like the moments after you lose your high,
Mm-hmm.
I think you feel worse.
Yeah.
So is it the same with psychedelics, you'd say?
I would say psychedelics is one of the few things that doesn't happen. Like if you do like MDMA, that will happen to you like extremely. Like you would feel like MDMA just makes you release all the happy chemicals in your body. So like if you take it, it's guaranteed good time. Like you will always be happy, but then the next day you will find it hard to like do the stuff even more so than just doing beer and weed. Like it's hard to go back to like school after, like,
What's
cause all
MMA, like glue?
Molly, like
Oh,
ecstasy.
okay.
Yeah. So it's very fun, but like when you go back, it's all your chemicals are drained,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
don't want to do anything, you don't find interest in anything, and that's not good. But like with psychedelics, it's like I don't know, I feel like they have like a mind of their own type almost, because like when you do a psychedelic, you do not want to do that for at least 2-3 months. Like
Really?
it's not something you can really get addicted on, because like you learn so much about it, and like it scrambles your brain a lot as well. So you don't want to be doing it like on a constant basis, otherwise you will start to dissociate from what is actually real. But I think it's more so, even like how you said there's like a low after like you do a drug. With psychedelics there is a up, and like
Really?
what you try to do is you try to keep that up going, because like the stuff you make some like realizations about yourself, just like so you want to keep those stuff going. Like one of the first times I did the mushrooms, I was in Swaziland, right? I was with my friends, so like good company, that's also very essential. Like you need to be with people who like care for you and stuff like that. But when I was doing it, I had like this thing, it's called ego death. Like I
Oh.
completely like forgot who I was or where I was. So that can be like scary for some people, but like I was with like a good group of people, so I know like at the end of the day I'll be okay. And then stuff started coming slowly back to me, so I was like, okay, I'm from Pakistan. Like that felt crazy to me. I'm like, I'm from so far away, like what am I doing here? And then I realized, oh, I go to school. And then like the whole idea of school was like very like weird to me as well. Like I go and I sit in a room and like someone says stuff, and like I'm learning through that. But like eventually it all came back, And when it started coming back, like I saw some of my like earliest childhood memories who made me who I am today, you know. So it like reaffirmed like, you know, the good things in my childhood that made me the person I am today. So like, I don't know, it just reaffirms your identity in a good way, I feel like. You know why you're here, what your goal is. Because when you're like young, some of that stuff is very clear to you. You don't know like all the stuff that's wrong in the world. And like, you can get some of that back. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend, bro. Yeah.
Then another question is, if the end goal is to do without them, then why even start them?
Yeah, I mean, I get that's a very good question, bro. Like, some people they never like try all that stuff. My idea on this is like, right now I'm young, right? I want to get all the fun I can possibly have at this age out of the way, cause like every year I grow older, like I just can't have the fun the same way, cause I'm like much more responsible. Like, I'm thinking about like the taxes I have to pay, my rent, like stuff like that. So I'm trying to like get it out of the way now. So when I'm older, I'm not like, cause I've met some older people who like, this is like, what maybe it's not true, but like I think they didn't have as much fun in their like youth days as they should have, and like because of that they're like frustrated at the society and stuff. So I want to like get all the fun out the way, so I can be happy with like, my youth and stuff. But I respect people who never touch any of that stuff, because like that's the end goal, is like, not to need any of that. But I think psychedelics is like something that I would put in a different category, where it's like something that everyone maybe should try once.
Wow. You said a person should try to be like happy first within themselves, right? Before even like maybe seeking out relationships or other things. Then like how does a person, you think, go about doing it? Or is it different for every person? Are there some similarities?
Yeah, I guess it can be different for every person, but like one thing they can do is like find hobbies that like, makes them feel like happy. Like, one of your hobbies is like, doing this podcast. This is like something productive that you're doing with your like time, that is like, gonna make you feel happy, because this is something you like to do. I like to skate, or like, I discovered that I enjoy sewing. So like, it's finding like activities that make you happy, because we are so far away from our family. We have made friends here, but sometimes even the friendships are not the same as like some of the friendships you have from back home, like your childhood friends. They've seen your house, they're from your culture, they understand, like they think similar than you. So like if you're here, like you, like in the beginning it was like hard for me. I'm sure you might have struggled with this too. You feel like lonely as well, like so. And then like you may seek out like other people to have fun. So if you can have fun by yourself and be happy, like bro, that's like to me that's the key to life. Like if you can be happy by yourself, you don't need anyone, but like when other people are around you, you will be a positive influence to them.
That's what I realized. Because I realized it's like sometimes I used to think, oh, if there was like more friends or more things, then I'd be happy. But I was like, even if you're put in that scenario, you aren't. So I think I really feel that, where even with like friendships, like even if I realize if I'm very close with a person and I really enjoy their company, it's good to be able to be without them too. For a long time too. Because otherwise you're just hanging out with them because you can't be.
And then like if let's say like they have some obligations or something they need to do, you might be like, like kind of mad that they don't want to give you their time. But like at the end of the day,
it's like that. It's like dependency, So I realize that, but I feel that, bro, because for a while, like, if I even went to the caf, like, I couldn't be by myself and something, or, all these things, standing in line.
Yeah, I know, bro. But, like, compared to, like, freshman year, we have all went through such a good transformation. Like, bro, everyone I interact with who knows you always have, like, good stuff to say about you, bro. Always, bro. Like, it's never, like, once, like, they ever have one bad thing to say, bro.
That, but I've seen so many people too, because Like some internationals, I saw them of course first year, and then I didn't see them so much. But I have classes with few of them. Like they're so confident.
Yeah,
so
bro.
feeling good, happy.
It's nice to see, bro. Like Kalamazoo College, it has its downsides, but like I am satisfied at like the personal and academic growth I have like had while being here.
Yeah, I'm definitely grateful, man. Cause like the resources they have, like this room.
Yeah, bro. Back home is very hard to get all these things. We're very fortunate we are here, bro. Yeah, bro. Sometimes I even have this thing. It's like, bro, like I feel like it's like survivor's guilt almost. It's not like we are like in some war zone in Pakistan, but like life back home is like tough, and like I have like very close friends who like I went to like I've had them in my class like every single time for 5-6 years. When I was applying for these scholarships, they also applied. I even helped them like with their application. Like I did some of their application, but like for them it didn't work out. And like same for my like siblings as well. So like I feel like sometimes I feel like bad almost that I'm enjoying so much stuff while like so many people I care about do not have the same that's why when I like talk to my friends, I try to not even tell them that much about like what I'm doing here, because it's just like I don't want to brag about it, like life here is definitely better, bro, but like
Because even the resources, like you can just go buy whatever you want.
I know, bro. It's very nice.
Even like the soda machine blew my mind when I first came.
Yeah, bro.
Like Coke, something.
Yeah, bro.
So yeah, I think I used to have that too, where because you look at some family back home or certain, and they're having way difficult time. So I don't know how to resolve that actually. Maybe.
I mean, like my idea is like you become so successful that then yeah, bro, that's what it's about,
Yeah.
Cause like the more you spread your wealth, the more it multiplies, bro. Like that's one thing. We've been talking about like differences in like Western and Eastern societies.
Yeah.
Like this one thing was like hard for me to get over with. Like here it's like very individualistic, right? And like that definitely has some advantages. Like there's not gonna be no aunties saying like, oh beta, you should marry this or you should study this. Like you decide for yourself what you want to do. But like especially when it comes to like monetary stuff, like if you go out with a friend, it's always like very mathematical, whereas like in my like society, and I'm sure like you can agree on this, like if you're going out with a group of friends and like one of them is like one of the friends is richer, one of them doesn't have that much money, like it's never like you split it up in like 3 ways 4 ways. It's just like for me at least, like whoever had the money just paid, and it just like you don't keep into account like $1 or $2, because it's like sometimes even like if like my housemate, he asked me to grab him a beer from like the liquor store, it's like $2, right? I gave him the beer and he's trying to give me $2. I don't even accept it, because I think sometimes it like diminishes me accepting like taking money from people who are like close to me like that.
Yeah, that's true. For me, I think it was a bit more different, because I think we went to a school where it was like a private school where most kids were well-to-do. But of course, depending, most of the time we used to see like who could do it easier.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think I've noticed with like parents or with elders or with how close a family gets. Because actually, I used to think it was a joke, bro. Because it's like when you're 18, you're like out.
Yeah, but it is actually like that, bro. I've seen that. Yeah, that shocks me, bro. And like in our society, like in Pakistan, like you can stay with your parents for as long as you need to, and then eventually when you start making money, then you support them until like they like pass away. But here like sometimes they get put
like
into
mathematically. It's like, okay, you took care of them 18 years. I'm
yeah.
gonna give you this much.
So it only makes sense if you like if you take care of them till 18, you can't expect them to take care of you when you're old.
So yeah, for me it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like completely shocks me. Even like sometimes I hear like with the money, it's like, oh, it's my parents' money.
Yeah, yeah.
But back home we'd be like, because if I talk to my parents, they're like, okay, it's of course your money.
Yeah, right.
So it's like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, some people here like they come from like wealthy backgrounds, but like they're still like very mathematical about the stuff, and like they're always like, oh, I'm not rich, my parents are rich,
Yeah,
bro.
it's like the same
Yeah,
thing
it's
from India,
yeah,
right?
yeah, bro. Like you are also rich, like you might not have the money right now, but you have like equity in there, like
Yeah, but actually they might be right, bro. Because sometimes the parents are like, "We are rich, but you are not rich." At least here,
Yeah,
because it's so
it's just different.
like yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big difference.
Mhm. Mhm. What else? Um. Oh, food. Well, we can talk about food. Like, I know you said the momo, and that's a classic. But tell me more about like thakali.
Oh, bro, thakali is like that's what we have like on a daily.
Yeah.
That's like that used to be like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So you get like some rice, some like lentils, some dal,
Yeah, so
and
you get rice and you get dal, and
mhm,
then you get tarkari. You know what
mhm.
tarkari?
It's like a potato thing.
Or no, it can be any vegetable.
Okay,
So
what
normally it's like saag,
Saag,
So
yeah.
it's like greens, and then there's like achar,
Achar,
which
some
is something
pickles.
spicy.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing that I love is like everyone can have it in their own way. It's
Yeah.
like both get like thakali, but
Mhm.
then you put a bit more spice. I
Mhm.
put more like saag, I put more dal, a bit
Yeah.
more chicken. You put more.
Yeah, bro.
Sometimes. So everyone, I think once you learn how to eat it, because here I should think like there's a pizza, right?
Mhm.
But everyone eats the same pizza, like when you take it apart.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same amount of onions, the same amount of like whatever.
Yeah.
But no, bro, you customize that shit.
Yeah.
That's what makes it mind blowing.
Yeah, bro. That's one thing I wanna try when I come visit Nepal, bro.
Oh, bro, you
Yeah.
love it. Cause I eat that. I would eat that all. I think maybe
Yeah.
because I grew up with it.
Mhm.
I think that's the one meal I would eat if I could.
Yeah, that's one thing, bro. Because our like most of our meals have so many spices, even though they're like not spicy spices. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like some spices are like aromatic and stuff. Like, but here, so in the beginning, I used to struggle a lot, like, cause a lot of their food is they don't season it as much, but like to them it still tastes good, cause their palates aren't the same as
Yeah, I
like
think
mine.
very bland. At least here,
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah,
There's even like mayo and like something.
yeah.
Like, oof. At least for me. But
Is
yeah,
it okay
what
for
about like
this one?
Pakistani food?
Pakistani food, bro, is yeah, it's the very like we use a lot of spices. Biryani. Biryani is a classic, bro. If I could like,
Yeah.
if I had to pick one meal to eat the rest of my
Yeah, I love
life, I would,
biryani. My
yeah,
mom used to cook some great biryani.
yeah, yeah.
Raita.
Raita, yeah, bro. I be cooking it here. Like I'll like let you know next time when I make, bro.
Dang, I want to try. Like, what do you
Yeah.
use? Chicken?
Yeah, I use chicken, and then you can get the spice package. Just like, bro, biryani is kind of like complicated to make a little bit, cause like you have to make the rice separate and then the stuff separate,
Because I
and then
think
you mix it all.
Well, oh, because I think I tried to cook once, and you have to cook the rice maybe like halfway,
Yeah, and then you
and
mix it with the
and then
stuff.
you cook it together.
I know, yeah. But yeah, bro, I miss like in America, street vendors for like food is not really big. In Pakistan, like I could like at like 12 in the night or like even 1, like I can walk like for 10-15 minutes and like find like a dude who's just selling some like
Yeah, and it'd be
different.
so tasty, bro.
Yeah,
So cheap. I don't know.
yeah,
I think it's because we're in a smaller city, so
that is true.
maybe in
Yeah.
New York they'd be like,
More, yeah, that is, yeah. Cause yeah, bro, like back home we are from like big cities, so like that is also like a difference. Yeah. How was like the population of like Kathmandu? Is it
Kathmandu, I think
like
it's like 1-2 million.
1-2 million?
Yeah, not too much.
Okay,
But
bro.
comparatively.
Okay, they're still big, bro.
Yeah.
Karachi is like 16-17 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just too many people, bro. Everywhere you go, there's people. It's just
That's crazy. That's like half of Nepal's population.
yeah, bro. It's very big.
But yeah, no, because I think South Asian countries are in general very popular.
Mhm.
Because even Nepal, which is a small country, is like half the size of France, so
I know, right?
like very, very.
Bro, you
big.
know this stat that a quarter of everyone in the world is South Asian.
Yeah, crazy.
Like 2 billion people out of 8 billion people are South Asian. That's pretty crazy that like one region in Asia has like
And bro, like the other like, I think 1/3 is like China. Bro.
yeah, so it's
That
just
region.
yeah, bro. So like there must be like something in like the fertility of the soil like that it can support such a large
Yeah, I
population.
think that was it. I think that's why like Indus Valley, because of the
Mm-hmm.
rivers, I think many rivers.
Many rivers, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So skateboarding,
Yeah, bro. So it goes back to the
even
same.
Pakistan.
No, bro. In Pakistan, there's not many smooth surfaces.
I
So
feel like
like,
exactly. That's what I
I
was thinking.
yeah, I used to like see it and like I always like liked like how it looked and like I thought it would be fun. So I got into it because like two of my friends who went to high school with
Yeah.
me in Swaziland,
Yeah.
they are not here, but they go to school in Lake Forest, right?
Mhm.
So when I went to visit them, they had skateboards and like they gave me one of theirs
Oh,
to
like
like
when you were here, like a freshman.
yeah, when I was here as a freshman, I went to visit them and they had like skateboards and they had a spare one. So they gave me a spare one and like we just used it to like cruise around like Chicago and it was just like very fun because in Chicago the sidewalks are like very smooth.
Yeah,
So
yeah, true that.
I was like, this is fun. So then I got my own skateboard and I just started practicing. In the beginning, it's like very hard, bro. You like fall a lot.
Yeah.
You're always like or I guess I'm always conscious that like if there's people around, I don't want to fall and embarrass myself. Like it just looks like yeah. So in the beginning, I
It would
used
look
to,
funny.
yeah, it looks funny, bro. And you also have to like be okay with getting hurt, cause like skateboarding, if you like try learning it, like it's a guarantee you will fall like a lot, and like before you get better.
Right.
So in the beginning, I was trying to like learn some tricks. I was able to learn how to ollie, but like
What's
after
that?
that, ollie is just like to get the board off the ground. Like I can do like a little jump. Yeah,
Uh,
that took me like 1,000 times of trying before like you start like getting good at it. But then you fall a lot, and like I decided that I'm gonna like just stick to like cruising around, cause is I don't like here if you like injure yourself, like the medical bills are like very very expensive. So I'm in school. I'll just use the skateboard for like cruising around. I'm not trying to be a pro skater. I don't even think I could even if I tried. Like some of those kids, if you go, there is a skate park down there. You go there like very 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 good, and they're like much younger. And like yeah, to be a pro skater, you have to risk a lot of injury. Yeah,
Because the
bro.
way you ride it, I used to think you've been riding it since like when you were young.
No, bro. I just been like 2 3 years now, I guess.
Yeah, because
Yeah, bro.
wow, it's crazy to think that when we first met, that you did not
I
start.
did not know how to. Yeah, I did not know how to skate, bro. But yeah, it just goes back to finding stuff that makes you happy. Like I've noticed, like you have been like doing you sing now and like
Yeah.
you perform. It's like when you perform like uh, the Bollywood song,
Yeah.
the what was
मैं
it?
कैसा ऐसा गीत गाऊं?
Ke Arzu Jagam. Like, bro, that made me so happy. Like, even though most of the people there couldn't understand what you were saying, bro, but like I knew what you were singing, and
Yeah,
like
I like that.
it made me very happy that you're like representing. Like, even though it wasn't a Nepali song, but it was a South Asian song, and like
Yeah.
you sung it, and like you sung it with like proper pronunciation, even though Hindi is not your mother tongue. Like, you speak Nepali, so. It's very inspiring. Like, tell me about like how you got into it.
I think it's similar to what you said about skating, because I realized there are like some things that since childhood or maybe when you're a bit younger, you've always wanted to.
Yeah.
So like I used to like, I guess, singing, but just like I think most people like singing,
Mhm.
especially like the songs they like.
Mhm.
But for me, I was like, I used to listen to like different songs when I was back in Nepal. So they'd be like older Nepali songs or like even older American songs,
Mhm.
which like most of my friends would not listen to.
Yeah.
So, but they would play guitar, and I would love singing when they were playing,
Yeah.
because I used to like singing. So I used to tell them, hey, why don't we play that song? And they're
Yeah.
like, what song?
Yeah.
I'd be like, that old American one? They'd be like, no
Yeah.
idea. So I said, okay, let me try to do it myself. And I think I was lucky, because my grandmother had a spare guitar. Because at
Oh.
first my mom was like, maybe this kid's just like 1 week into it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she was like hesitant to buy it.
Yeah.
But I think I started like 10th grade, 11th grade,
Hmm.
so not too long ago. Because by then, like many of my friends had already been playing for a while.
Mhm.
So what, like junior high school, if you say that.
Okay.
when I
So
had
you
guitar.
taught it to yourself?
Yeah, like
Damn,
YouTube, bro.
YouTube.
Yeah, because I think YouTube is a great way to learn.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy that we have access to like, you can just look up how to do something. That's how I learned the skateboarding tricks.
yeah.
I looked up like how to do it, and the dude like shows you the steps,
Yeah.
and you keep trying until you get better, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's very
So I
cool.
think YouTube is great, man, because at least everything I've learned about guitar is from there. But I don't have theory, that's why. So I can't read music. I can only
Oh, but you
play.
can like you can hear it and play it.
No, not even hear it. I can just see like the chords.
Yeah.
If they write G, I know what a G is.
Okay.
But those are like letters. I
Yeah.
can do the letter things. I don't know
Yeah.
what it's called. But you know the one with like the
Yeah, like the music
the
notation.
music
Yeah.
notation. I definitely
Yeah.
can't do it.
So did you do any like vocal training and stuff?
No, I mean yes, in the showers.
In the shower. That's pretty
But I
cool.
think at least for most people it doesn't like if you want to be a pro, of course you got to practice a lot.
Mhm.
But I think to get like good enough where you enjoy it and other people enjoy it, I think just listening and practicing.
I
'Cause
guess
think
that's.
anyone can do it.
I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like you have a much more pleasant voice than I. Like my voice is kind of like broken up, like kind of rough. I feel
No,
like.
no, no, bro. That's my belief. It's like, are you telling me that, like, given enough time, a person couldn't learn
I mean, you're right.
something?
Yeah.
Like, you know, or like math, or like, you know. So
Yeah.
of course, like some people are more gifted. Like a taller person will probably be better at basketball if
Yeah.
you both get same training.
Yeah.
But I think with training, like anyone can get, you know.
That is very true. Yeah,
So like
bro.
if there's a good song that you like, you know, like maybe the apps just
Yeah, bro, we'll do it.
in
We'll
the
do-
shower, just sing
Just
those.
keep practicing. Okay.
That's
But
what I-
also, like, how do you, like, in the beginning when you were getting into it, like, do you record your voice and hear it back? Because, like, if I'm, like, singing, like, I think I'm sounding good. But, like, most of my friends are telling me, like, bro, it's not sounding good. Like, stop. Like.
Nah, bro. Like I didn't do any of the recording thing.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I was just singing for myself. Like I was having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to just pick a song that I like and sing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like for a long time I didn't do anything
Mm-hmm.
because I was just singing for myself. But then I think first year or second year, Lelo was like, or somehow I got inspired. I think because Lelo did. You remember Lelo did like this
Yeah.
big music thing.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, shit. Like
Yeah, bro.
we can do it. So I
Yeah.
was thinking, okay. And then I did perform at AFDS.
Yeah, you thought it and you made it happen, bro. That's nice, bro. Damn.
So yeah, I was very nervous, bro, because I realized my legs were shaking.
Yeah.
But it was, because I think partly because of the fear too. I wanted to try to overcome it.
Yeah, bro, and
I
you
like
did,
it.
bro. You like I couldn't tell you were nervous, and
Yeah.
that's all that
No, I
matters.
was definitely like, because even if I listen to the recordings, I can hear in the beginning it's like
Yeah, voice cracking
Yeah,
because of the nervous.
nervousness.
Yeah. Bro, that's one thing that like I think America has better that like in Pakistan, I don't know how it's in Nepal, but like growing up, like your parents, they only prioritize education. It's always
Yeah.
studying. Like if you're like into sports, like the society treats you like you're like a bum.
Yeah, true that,
If you're
bro.
into music, the society treats you like you have no future. Like if you're into art, like here most American students I meet, they can play at least one
Yeah,
instrument because of
exactly.
school. They have played at least one sport, like through their school.
Yeah.
For us, like when we were doing that stuff, we were just like you're kind of
Like
discouraged by
fighting
that.
against the tide, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
playing soccer.
Yeah.
Because I remember, bro, like it was like even in like Nepali high school or middle school, like the time to play football so less. Like
Yeah.
40 minutes.
You have to like beg the teachers to
Yeah.
like let you play. Sometimes the teachers would be like, "Oh, our syllabus isn't like finished, so like
Yeah.
to this week you guys get to play no sport."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I find impressive. Because yeah, they play like music. I was in the band. I can do like trumpet. I do a sport.
That's another reason like why we are like South Asia is so bad at Olympics and like like
Bro,
other
that's what I noticed. Because look at our population and look at what we get in
I
medals.
know, bro. Some of those smaller countries
embarrassing.
like Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan, they be having like more medals.
Yeah, that,
Like
like
East-
even Singapore, 12.
Yeah, yeah, bro. So I mean, like in our society, they think that education is definitely important to like uplift your socio-economic status, but like the other things are important as well, like music and stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I noticed. Why do you think that is? Because maybe it's because it's lack of development. Where like it is really true that if you do like football in Nepal, you won't earn that much money.
Yeah, yeah.
But because I know there are other countries which are also probably developing,
Mm-hmm.
but like Kyrgyzstan that or something that they have like wrestlers or like
Yeah,
boxers. Or, I
yeah,
don't know. Or like even Cuba, I know.
yeah, yeah,
Even bro, North Korea even wins shit. Bro.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I
To me.
know, bro. I mean, for Pakistan, a lot of it has to do with like, I guess, if you exclude the sports, if you come to like music and art, a lot of it has to do with like the Islamic radicalization. Like, bro, growing up, like, for a while, like, if I would like play music in my house, like, my parents will tell me to stop it because it's a sin, like, listening to music. And then I realized, like, you do some research and it's not a sin, bro.
You do some research.
Bro, it, like, the radicalization, it has so many like negative aspects. Like when I was young, I still have this memory. I must have been like 7 8 years old, right? I was showing like one of the other kid in the neighborhood like a drawing I made, and it was like, you know, a caricature of like a person or something. And this dude, he's like my same age, like 7 8 years old. He tells me that I've committed a great sin, and on the day of judgment God will ask me to put my soul in like the character I have drawn to make it alive, because only God can draw like pictures or something. Like it's like, you know, when you hear stuff like that when you're 7 8 years old, it like it can mess with you a lot, bro.
What did he say? Can you say in Urdu?
Yeah, he says कि ये जो तुमने किया है ये बहुत बड़ा गुनाह है, और आखिरत के दिन तुम्हें अपनी इस ड्राइंग में रूह फूकनी पड़ेगी. Like, bro, he's 7 8 years old. Like, where did he learn that from? And you know, I've had like many experiences like that, bro. Like when I was like young, we used to have like a Quran teacher who would come to our house, or like sometimes I've had multiple Quran teachers. Sometimes you would go to someone's house to study Quran, because Quran is like the Muslim holy book and it's in Arabic, right? And most of the people, they don't speak Arabic, so you have to be taught to like learn that, right? But my whole life I was taught like, you know, Quran in like a language I don't understand. So like I wasn't able to like get the what it was trying to say out of it. And another thing is like I've been like beaten a lot, like because I couldn't pronounce the stuff right. Like, you know, like some of the Quran teachers, bro, like they would get mad at me if I couldn't like make the right like ha sound. Like if I said ha, they're like, you imagine getting slapped because like you couldn't say ha, you said ha. Like, you know, like it's just your language. If you can't like make certain sounds, like it's because you're not used to making those sounds. So like that kind of like really moved me, like, you know, to go away from Islam. And like after I've like grown up, I've learned about more about Islam. Like now I know, like, you know, some of that stuff is not really like part of Islam, and you know, I've gotten more closer to it. But like, bro, like living in like a very radical society is like not a good experience.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, bro.
I was thinking maybe it'll be more similar as in Nepal and Pakistan, but
Have you been like hit by your like teachers?
no.
I've been hit a lot on my face as well. Like imagine hitting a kid who's like less than 10 years old on the face, like with all your might, if you're like a grown adult. Like I couldn't do it, bro. I don't know, like those people shouldn't have been in the field of like teaching kids,
But
bro.
I didn't know it was that. But,
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because at least in Nepal, I don't think we're very like. 'Cause
Yeah,
there are
bro,
too
that's
many
good.
people of too many different things.
Yeah.
Because if you try to teach like a Buddhist family, like Hindu shit, they won't let you do it.
Yeah. So that's good, bro. Yeah. It's Pakistan, you know.
Yeah, I didn't know they were very. That sounds.
Bro, it's bad, and it's only getting worse. You know, like these days, a lot of people I keep getting lynched in Pakistan, bro. Because like we have this law. It's called the blasphemy law. It's like 297C or something. It's basically you will be given the capital punishment, death penalty, if you say anything like bad, blasphemous about the Prophet or Islam, right? But like, okay, let's say you have that rule, right? Even though I don't agree with it. If you have that rule, you should, like, you know, the court should be the one that give you the verdict. But in Pakistan, you can just accuse someone. Like, let's say we live in the same village, and like, you know, we have one well, and like you use the well and I use the well, but there isn't enough water. and like I don't like you for some reason, right? I can like tell the people in the village that you said something bad about the prophet, and like the whole like a mob will gather and lynch you without a fair trial. Yeah, bro. So I mean that's why I'm here. I'm trying to like move my family out of Pakistan, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's a sinking ship.
But you said your like parents are very religious, or at least
Yeah,
that's
my
something.
parents are
So
religious.
will they agree to move? You think?
Yeah, bro, cause like even the most religious people in Pakistan, if they get a chance to get out of Pakistan, they will. Cause Pakistan is like is not developing at all. We are like regressing, and most religious people, they don't understand this thing, right? Like they want to create Pakistan like a very Islamic society where like people of other religions don't have any right? But when they come to Europe or America, they want their like right to practice their religion, which they get, which they enjoy, bro. Like if you there is a mosque there, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can go there. So the same rights they're like taking away from minorities in Pakistan, they get those rights in like these European and American countries. So they live pretty happily here, like except like some stuff, but like yeah, they I would say that my parents at least would be very happy because they are very religious, but like the time period they grew up in Pakistan was even more radical than like like than the time I grew up in Pakistan. So you can't fully like blame them, and they just have the best intentions. They are like not on the like killing type of like radical Islam. They're just very religious people, but they don't have any of those stuff. So yeah, bro, they would be very happy. Like no one in my immediate family has ever even sat on an airplane, bro. I'm like the
Whoa.
first, bro.
Dang.
Bro, sometimes it feels unreal. I'm here, bro. Like I wasn't supposed to be here. Like God help me get here, bro. Like if most people from this school could go visit my house back home, they would be like, bro, how the hell did you make it here? Like it's crazy.
Wow.
That's why sometimes like in the beginning you might have went through this as well. Like when you like spend like money in America, like in the beginning I,
You
I
feel.
would convert
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
money to
100%.
like back home money, and then I'm like, bro, I just spent like enough money on beer today that my dad is making after working a whole day,
Yeah.
and you feel really like shitty. So
Yeah.
I've stopped doing that, and like yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think given enough time, you automatically stop converting.
Yeah, bro, because if you keep converting, even
It's
if you're
too
like
much.
thirsty, you try to get water, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you saw, like, it's 100 rupees or 200
Yeah,
rupees
yeah.
back home, you're like, you feel like very, like, wrong. Yeah. Yeah, bro, but like, like, it's been very good, like, for both of us, bro. We are
I
here, we are
agree.
like, advancing our careers, and like, hopefully in the future we would be able to like help a lot more people.
Yeah, bro. I think that's a good goal. So you would want to bring them to America?
Yeah, bro, bring them to America, bring my friends, or if they can't come here, support their like businesses here. Like a lot of people in America, like, they don't realize that they're living like so many people's dream lives. Like, bro, back home, like, you've probably seen poverty, bro. I've seen like people, like, like little kids. Like a lot of them were Afghan refugees, like after the whole, like, war against terror and all that. They had to like move and come to Pakistan. They don't have papers. Like I've seen kids like 6, 7 years old looking through trash to pick up bottles so they can buy 2 pieces of bread to feed themselves. Like once you see stuff like that, like you realize like you have so much to be thankful for. Like, and that's one thing I noticed, like in America, like some people are like out of touch with like so much stuff they have. Like they're like, like I'm not trying to like diminish someone's problems, because like everyone's problem is like big to them.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, bro, like people here have so many like luxuries that they don't realize they have,
Yeah.
and it's good to keep reminding yourself.
Yeah, I think I agree with that because I think if I don't remind myself, even myself, because I'll be like not as grateful as I should because
Mhm.
I have so many opportunities, luck.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
definitely.
Mhm.
But you said God help me. Like, what's your concept of it now?
Bro, like in the since I've grown up very religious, I'll always be like a Muslim, even though I do some stuff like that Muslims shouldn't do, like drink like alcohol and stuff. But like the reason I believe in God so heavily is like, if okay, I'll give you like a scientific argument I recently heard. Like I don't like I haven't talked to like a pure like physics professor and like ask him what his like theory on this is, but like there is like a Muslim scholar back home who is also like have studied STEM. He's also an engineer, right? So he was saying his argument on the existence of God is like there is like a law in thermodynamics. I don't know if it's the second or the third one, that the entropy of like a system always goes up, will never go down. And do you understand entropy?
Not really.
So entropy is basically explained as disorder, but my physics professor like told me it's more so like the probability of being able to predict where something is, right? So the example he gave was like, let's say you take like a beaker and you took like different like small balls, right? You put a white layer of balls first, then a blue, then a red, right? If you shake it up, there is no way that like you could shake it up for forever. It will never become the same layers. You know what I mean? So in nature, everything least goes to higher entropy, more and more disorder. So his argument is like, if it's everything is going to more and more disorder, how is there so much order in the world? Like in our like living systems, if you like look at the chemistry, the physics, the biology, it just all works. But like how does it all work? But apart from that like scientific argument, I like deeply believe in God as well, because like if I don't believe in God, I feel like I will become more arrogant. Like so much stuff I have in my life that like I've worked hard for, but I was very fortunate to be here. Like I didn't like accomplish this all by myself. If I say, oh, it was everything, it was all me, like my ego will be big, my I would be very arrogant. So that's also why I like to believe there's some like higher power helping me, bro. Cause like I know so many people back home who were almost as much talented, if not more than me, and they didn't get that chance.
Yeah.
You know?
Bro, I actually feel like very, very similar.
Yeah.
Where, because when I first actually came here too, I think I was like completely atheist.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm science. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I think I realized the same things, because I think I was more arrogant, maybe more self-centered,
Mm-hmm.
and not as grateful as I should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I start like looking at things and being grateful for things like my family, my
Mm-hmm.
parents, how much they helped me, what a nice childhood I had, my
Yeah,
school,
bro.
that I got to come here, like my health,
Mm-hmm.
like bro, like I don't have any like nothing wrong.
Yeah,
I
bro.
feel healthy, nice. So
You know.
I can't. So yeah, exactly. Like the more I'm grateful, the more I realize there must be, or there has something
Mm-hmm.
that is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's how I see it. I never like, and I try to like, no matter if someone has like, any religion, or they even don't follow like a specific religion, like if they believe in God, like to me, I am like the same as them, like I don't try to distinguish like, oh, you are going to hell because you follow this religion, like,
Yeah.
because I think if like actual like if God exists, like how can he just deny you to go to like heaven when you were nice to all of his other creation, like other human beings, like other living things, like animals and stuff.
Right.
If you're like a nice person, how can he just be
Yeah.
like what if you lived in a country where Islam never reached, like like, or you, oh, so it's like your fault for being born there, like I didn't choose to be born in a Muslim family. I could have be born in a Hindu family, so then I would have just been condemned to like go to
Yeah.
hell.
That's what I agree. I agree. I don't think God would be so petty.
Yeah, bro, it's like us humans who have had that.
Yeah, because that's why that gives me security. Because I do feel if there's someone like all powerful or something all powerful,
Mhm.
they're not gonna care whether
Yeah,
Hindu.
bro.
Even maybe I believe or not, but I don't know how I feel about that. But it's more like, yeah, I think the bigger picture, yeah, treating their creation.
Yeah, I took this class here called like What is Religion, and like we were looking at like different societies that have religion, and like we found that like almost every human society or civilization that has existed has came up with a form of religion. And like, sometimes it's like hard for people to like rationalize why we are here. Like, if we are here without any God, like then what does anything even mean? If you're gonna be like dead in 100 years, most people who will be dead in 200, 300 years. Then like what is the point of anything? Like why are you a good person? Like I guess like you should be a good person just because, but like sometimes it gives people a meaning to life, and like makes their efforts like in their head they think they're working towards something, which is I think helpful.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah.
I see. Like without it, I feel there would be like apathy. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like I get up, I'm just getting up.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think religion, God, as something. Uh, but I think we can end now because we have talked for a while. But if you have any message for the future, I think that'd be, if you want.
For future me,
Yep.
I'll just say, you're on the right path, and like just keep going and just be nicer to people
Yes.
and believe in yourself, and things will work out. And I want to take a moment to appreciate, you inviting me here, and like I've seen your personal growth, from freshman year to now, and like the stuff we were talking about, like you were saying like how you become happy, but I think you're already doing those things, like you have hobbies that make you happy, like you sing, you're doing this podcast, like so it's like it's very great you're like working on the same things. It's nice to see, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
your
Yes,
time.
sir. Nice chat, bro.
It was a good chat, bro.
Yes, sir.